Hello everybody, and welcome back to another World of Tanks video. Today we're taking a look at one of my own replays at long last. Now, you don't know this, but I do. For the last week I've been back in the World of Tanks cell, so to say, and I've really been feeling like uploading something. But sadly, for some reason I'm not getting my ace tankers. It's not that I'm playing bad. I've had 3 matches in a row where I get 1200 base experience, or more or less that. But for some reason, just that day, it decides, well, there's a ton of good people around and that's not an ace tanker today. There's actually a lot of people doing 1200 base experience in your moods. Which makes sense, you know, I've had 2 games in my moods. The moods is a very well rounded tank, it's a good gun depression, nice gun. So I suppose it makes sense, but a KV3, I mean, this is the 2nd game in this week that I've had that's well, more or less a 1200 base experience game. I'm going to spoil this right here, right now for you. That's a lot of base experience for a KV3, but because, quite frankly, it's a shitty tank. It's a very shitty tank. But, yeah, for some reason that wasn't enough this week, so I had this nice game, I had a top gun, and all was well in the world, and I'm like, yeah, I can upload this on YouTube, it would be nice, but then it's a first class, and I'm like, not really what I want to upload. I don't know why, it was still a nice match. Maybe I should have uploaded it, I don't know. Well, anyway. Here I am now. I'm on the tier 7 match, so I'm nice and top tier, the way the KV3 likes it. And I'm on the swamp map. I'm going towards the heavy corner of the map, so to say, and sadly one of our mediums has followed us here. I would have liked him to go where the SU-100 and the Rudy is, on the west or on the eastern side of the map, but sadly this didn't happen. We also find that this medium gets quite rapidly taken out. Now, I don't actually shoot at this VK, and I probably should have moved forward a little bit more. That was my own fault. Take a bit of a chancey shot at the T-34-85, but yeah, flies a bit low and doesn't hit him. Oh well, bit of bad luck, but not much we can do about it. There's a VK again, decide not to take the shot. SU-100 is in a bit of a bad position, and I get to take a very meaty shot at that KV3, who has not packed a fire extinguisher. That is not very bright, Mr. KV3. So he cooks up nice and thorough, and I'm very happy with my luck. And for some reason the SU-100s decide to wait after I feel until coming over the hill, and I get some more luck and I ammo rack him in a single shot, which makes him believe that I'm actually a hacker. Not really sure how I would have been able to hack that into existence, but oh well. I pen the KV3 and the KV3 pens me. He has a very big gun, I have a very big gun. He gave me the side, he shot me straight through the front of my armor, which is one of the reasons I don't like KV3, but oh well, not really much we can do about it. Get to put a nice big juicy shell into the VK. A very nice high roll as well. 442 is a gigantic roll for this gun, so that's 3 very nice shells, I would say. The KV3 cooked up nicely, the SU-100 exploded very nicely, and the VK just got a monstrously high roll, so I'm doing very good with my luck here. I feel like Stalin is with me on this one. So here's this VK who's playing a nice game of chase the KV3 around the building, but yeah, I'm having none of that. That tank's way faster than me, and eventually he'll either be behind me or play this infinitely around this building. So I'm getting backwards to get out of where there's a proxy spotting range, and then rapidly approach one of the sides. Now he decides to run in this time, and I get a more or less average roll. It's 2 points of damage below the average, but a completely average roll wouldn't have killed him, so I can't really blame RNG for that. Especially after the shots that I've had. I mean, that first shot was a monstrously high roll. On average, I still got I got high rolls, so to say, if I were to average those 2 shots on the VK there. Anyway, I see my IS buddy is in trouble. He's been having a monster game so far, so I'm going to try and assist him as quickly as I can. This Leopard is quite close to the IS, and now he moves around the corner, which is of course a little bit of a mistake. Get a bit of a low roll on the Leopard, but I would have had to have another one of those monster rolls if I wanted to penetrate that tank. or kill one shot kill that tank. Sadly, he can put a full clip into the rear of my IS buddy, taking off over 300 hit points, which is very unfortunate because I could have used his help later on in the match, but we'll get back to that. I see my allied Oni in trouble, so I'm going to try and take a shot at this T-34-100. Sadly, the shot dips and I miss. Perhaps for the better, because if it would have flown high, it would have flown straight into my Oni buddy, which would have been unfortunate. Luckily, the second shot flies exactly where I aim it, and it does take out the T-34-100. One of the downsides of this gun, really one of the few downsides of this gun, because, well, the pen is, well, not super amazing, but it makes do. The accuracy, however, is a bit of an issue with this tank, and it's going to rear its ugly head more this game, but we'll see that in a bit. Now, our 3 heavy tanks, of which one is arguably more of a medium, are up against 3 mediums. And we're up a tier advantage, but sadly we don't have the health advantage. The IS is on very low health. I'm okay, but the 3601H is deciding to, on full health, not really get involved. I'm not really sure why. It would have been nice to have more of his support on this, but the IS and I are going to do a sort of pincer movement together. I saw him moving towards the west, and I thought that probably some of the mediums would stay behind here. I was correct, the VK3002D was still here. I bounced off of his front plate, which is to be expected. It has very well frontal, some very good frontal armor. So yeah, this bounce is not too strange. Now this VK is deciding to compensate and use a fairly large amount of gold here, which is very unfortunate for me. I see this VK flanking around, so I'm going to angle my armor towards him. He bounces, which makes me very happy, and I decide to move that way. This way the VK either has to move a long way around and get away from my IS buddy and the VK, or get into my gun line, if I can make it fast enough around this corner. So the VK is on low health, the VK3601H that is, and the other VK is running away from me. I probably should have taken a shot at the other VK here, but for some reason I decided to prioritize the VK3601H. This game might have been very, very different if I'd been able to take a shot at that tank, but sadly it was not to be. I do get the second shot off though, and yeah, I'm now up against this Chinukai. Sadly I cannot just blatantly advance over the field here, and I'm going to have to leave that 3601H to deal with the VK3002D on his own. It has a very nice high penetration gun, the VK3601H, and he was on full health, so he's not in too bad of a situation. Now about the Chinukai and how I'm trying to kill him. He has a rather big turret, and the turret is not exceptionally well armored. Let's actually just pause the game for a moment and go to Tanks GG and show you what it is I'm looking at this tank and just how much damage I can do with it, or how much armor it has and stuff like that. So see you back in a jiffy. Well, here is a Chinukai in Tanks GG. I've had the 3D model on here and we can see the armor. Now this tank is only showing its turret, and you see some red bits here and some yellow bits, but let's actually take a look at what this means. So if I mouse over this this heaviest armor bit here, it has, well, this one little bit that had 600 millimeters, but it's absolutely tiny. For the rest of it, it's 150 millimeters or 75 millimeters, and on other bits like here and here, it's actually very, very little indeed. So unless I manage to hit this puny little part where it's gigantic mountain of armor, I'm actually having difficulty finding it here. There it is. There's a tiny little bit of slither of armor here is thick, but other than that it's all going to bounce. And actually along the flat side here it is an auto ricochet angle, but look at the amount of armor that's actually there. It's not a lot, it's 50 millimeters, so I might actually be able to overmatch it if I'm lucky. Anyway, so the turret of the Chinukai is not exceptionally well armored, and I'm thinking, well, as long as I hit it, I should be fine. I should be able to pen it, no problem. Well, let's just return to the game, shall we? Okay, so now we know that it's basically paper armor and my gun should be able to deal with it, and even if I hit its most heavily armored part of the tank, I should actually be more or less okay. So imagine how surprisingly happy I was with that bounce. Yep, that's right. Hit the turret of the Chinook guy and it bounced. So I'm not very happy right now, because instead of 2 tanks I could have been facing 1. Now I see him moving around and I decide that I'm in enough of a dippy bit that he can't hit me properly, and move around and hoping that I can see this VK302D. Sadly he's playing nice and cautiously. His stats for a moment here are not super great, but he's actually playing very good. I was when I was playing this, I didn't have XVM installed yet. It was just after the new patch came, and I really thought that he was a very much more skilled player than he was. He was exactly in the points I didn't want him to be, which is usually what these players do. Now I see the Shinukai again, so of course when I take my shot, it bounces off the turret. Why not? I mean, I only hit it flush, so why would it pen? It's only like it has 75 millimeters of armor. So yeah, I really could have used that Shinukai to be dead right about now. Don't know where that shot went. Sure as hell looked like it went for its turret, but oh well. I think I used up all my luck this match at the start, where I got this enormous luck with the SU-100 and the KV3, where it penned and set them on fire and stuff like this. So I really can't complain too much about my bad luck against the Shinukai, but it sure as hell would have made a difference in how this game played out. Oh well, not really much I can do about it now. Let's go take a look at the post-game stats, which have actually been recorded just after I played the game. So it's in the garage. Enjoy. So, that's a rather disappointing screen in a certain sense of the word, but then in a certain sense of the word it is also a very nice screen. Of course it was a defeat. Maybe I could have killed that Shinukai with a bit more luck, you know, penning one of the most lightly armored tanks with a very big gun. But even if I had been able to kill this Shinukai with those 2 shots, the VK302D was a good player, and he would probably have outplayed me and killed me at some point. Maybe I could have won it, but it's highly unlikely is what I'm saying. Well, we came on top on damage done and experience earned, and because of the heroic medals we got, cool-headed and high caliber, we also get the Courageous Resistance Award, which gives us 50%, well, a little bit more than 50% actually, of experience for our KV3. And it's actually enough, as you can see, to get my KV4. So this might very well be the last time you see the KV3 on my channel, because, well, in the end, I grew to not hate it, basically is the best I could say about it. Initially I hated this tank, but in the end I did grow to love the gun, even if it trolled me a little bit this match. But yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll keep it around for a little bit. But yeah, I'm not that big of a fan of the KV3 basically. Did actually make some money, even though we fired a few APCR shells at the end. And yeah, would have been nice if we'd won it. Would have made more, because I haven't had my double today yet, as you can see. But yeah, that was it for today, unfortunately. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed my defeat. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next one. Let's see if we can win that one, shall we?